dying to hear your answer to this one. Someone wants to know if you have a wealthy investor, how do you convince them to relax a little bit and enjoy their wealth? In other words, to not worry so much about the day-to-day fluctuations of the market or even year-to-year fluctuations?
I think it's a great question, because really what it shows, whoever the advisor was out there who asked it, is it really shows that you care about your client. With that said, I think what's important is to keep in mind that every advisor and every client has what's called a money mindset. And for those who aren't familiar with what a money mindset is, it's basically how we think and feel and act around money. And so how we think and feel about money impacts our financial behaviors. And so, and there's also this whole complex piece, if this person is wealthy and they're ultra high net worth, what that means. That's a whole separate issue. But I think if the advisor first can look at why are they so concerned about their client? What is it about the advisor's money mindset or attitude towards wealth where they really want them to relax? Is it the person's calling 29 times a day and they just really want to break? Is it that you're concerned that the person's going to have a heart attack? Like, to really look at kind of what your motivation is. Once you understand that, then it's having a dialogue with your client about, maybe showing your concern and understanding their money mindset. For instance, if somebody has the idea that, you know what, in order to be financially responsible, I have to worry a lot. I have to fret a lot. And so it may be that you have a wealthy woman who's really fretting about her portfolio, and she feels like, if I'm constantly watching the market, then I'm doing the financially responsible thing. So if you find that out, then what you're going to want to do is coach her to be able to be financially responsible in a different way. She may still need to worry, so you allow her to worry a little bit, but then you give her other ways to be financially responsible so that worry can go down. That way the advisor gets less phone calls, she can enjoy her wealth a little bit more, at least worry a little bit less, and it's kind of a win-win. But it's a complicated thing to people's relationship with their wealth, especially if they're at the ultra-high net wealth market. And so the first step is to really understand that relationship, because it's often not as simple as just relax. It's very complex. We could have a whole another webcast about it.
But getting at that money mindset.
Yeah, the money mindset. And we all have them, and it influences us all the time, and we don't talk about it enough.
But do you get at that with a questionnaire, or is that just something you come at after
There's a
years
couple of
talking?
different ways in which you can do it. I mean, one of the things that I encourage all of my students at Bentley University to do is to learn about their own money mindset. And so simple questions like, what did your parents teach you about money? What does wealth mean to you, if you had to define it? Mm-hmm. What's the scariest thing about being wealthy, and what's the most wonderful thing about being wealthy? And so just asking these curious questions and having this dialogue, you can get into your client's mindset a little bit, not to judge it, because it's not about changing it, it's about understanding it and then working with them to maybe offer different alternative strategies so they can enjoy life a little bit more. Once again, not a one-time event. It's kind of this process, and there's people who specialize in doing that type of work if the advisor themselves decides, you know what, it's really not my place.